Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Matt. I'm just a dude, and in this video I'm going to show you how I'm going to replace this old fluorescent shop light with a new LED shop light which puts out 9,000 lumens, so stay tuned. The reason for this video is I never thought I would be filming YouTube videos in my garage. So when I shut the garage door, there's not enough light in the garage, and the camera kicks itself into a low light mode and it produces this real grainy video. And for an example of that, you can watch my Ryobi table saw unboxing assembly video. I'll post a link up above for that. But it shows the real grainy looking picture. So to solve that issue, we're going to replace this shop light, which is fluorescent F32 T8 lights, which are 32 watt fluorescent lights, with a new LED light which puts out 9,000 lumens. So let's get started with that. The light I'm going to install is made by Commercial Electric. It is a 4-foot LED shop light with a light output of 9,000 lumens. Uses 78 watts and has a light appearance or color temperature of 5,000 Kelvin. The light is also dimmable from 0 to 10 volts. It's designed to be suspension hung, but I am going to custom surface mount it. I'll show you how to do that in a bit. When replacing lights, it's crucial to make sure the new lights are compatible with the wiring. This lighting circuit is on a 15 amp breaker. The old light has two 32 watt light bulbs in it. The way to find amps is you divide watts by volts. So 64 watts divided by 115 volts gives you 0.56 amps. The new light uses about 0.68 amps. Since I'm only adding one new light, this is not going to overload this wiring circuit at all. Before starting any electrical work, be sure that power is off at the breaker. This video is for informational purposes only. Please, if you are not an electrician, consult a licensed electrician before conducting any electrical work on your own. Taking down an old fluorescent shop light is pretty straightforward. I turned off the power and the light is no longer on. I removed the screen or lens and then removed the old lights by twisting them and then removing them from the fixture. To gain access to the wiring, I have to remove the cover in the middle of the light. This is done by squeezing the cover until it can be slid out of the tabs which secure it to the fixture. Once this is removed, the electrical wiring is exposed. To make sure the power is off before touching these wires, I use this Commercial Electric AC volt detector model IP67. When it senses power, it emits red lights and a warning sound like this. I did that to demonstrate how the tester works. Now the power is turned off, and I use the tester again to make sure the power is off. You can't be too careful. I unscrew the wire nuts and separate the wires coming from the ceiling from the wires attached to the old fixture. I then put a wire nut back on the hot wire coming in from the switch. This covers the wire in case it accidentally gets turned back on. Then I remove the 4 screws holding the fixture to the ceiling and it comes right off. Now it's time to unbox the new light. The light just comes with some wire nuts and some chains to hang it. There are no light bulbs needed for this light. The LEDs are built into this fixture. Here are the two lights side by side, pretty close to the same dimensions. The new light is a little bit slimmer. The old light has two 32 watt T8 fluorescent lights which are rated by Phillips to produce approximately 3,000 lumens each when they are brand new. The light produces 9,000 lumens and only uses 14 more watts than the old light. This is a closer view of the new fixture. Notice all the LEDs. Here is another view of how to disassemble the old fluorescent light. This is how the light bulbs are twisted in and out of the fixture. Here is another look at how to squeeze the middle cover to remove it from the main housing on the old light fixture. Like I said before, I'm going to customize this light to be a surface mount instead of a suspension model. I looked through the directions and did not see anything regarding a heat warning from the fixture. I was worried about the fixture getting hot and becoming a fire hazard when directly mounted to the ceiling, but then I remembered Home Depot had this light directly mounted to something and it stays on all day long and hasn't started a fire yet. The light comes with J-hooks and chains, which would be mounted to the light like this to suspend it. I'm not going to use these. For a suspension mount, the light has these knockouts on 2 access panels on the back. If this was to be hung, the wire going into the light would enter through these knockouts. Since I'm going to surface mount this light, I'm going to remove this whole access panel because it is not needed and will hinder placing the electrical wires inside the fixture during installation. Since I am not using this panel, I'm going to remove the ground and attach it directly to a hole in the new light. To prepare the light to be surface mounted, I had to remove the end caps. They were held on with 3 screws each. Once these screws are off, I can see the wiring inside and make sure it doesn't get damaged by a drill bit or during installation. I'm going to place screws or toggle bolts through the holes where the J-hooks are supposed to go. In order to screw them into the ceiling, I need to add access holes to the face of the light. I measure the back of the light from the end to the holes. I then flip the light over, mark my spot, and drilled a small pilot hole. I picked up these metal hole plugs from Home Depot. I was looking for white plastic ones and couldn't find them, so these will have to do. I'm going to paint them white by first adding a primer coat to the surface and then painting them with some white spray paint. These plugs are made to cover 3/8 inch holes. I drilled the hole in the light at 23/64, which is a size smaller than 3/8, to see how they fit. It's always better to drill something smaller. If it doesn't fit, you can always drill it a little bit bigger. The screw holes used to mount the new light to the ceiling are about 41.5 inches apart on the back of the light. I measure this out on the ceiling and mark where the holes are going. I use a Stanley Fat Max tape measure because it is built sturdy enough to go all the way to the other wall without any assistance. If you have another person helping you, you won't need this. The holes are 123 inches away from the wall. I use this measurement to keep the light straight in the garage. I move my ladder down a little bit and mark the other hole. I use the knock method and discovered the mounting hole closest to the wiring will hit a ceiling joist, but the other hole will not hit anything. I will use a 3-inch long by 3/16 inch toggle bolt to secure the new light to the drywall. The box stated it will hold 95 pounds in 1/2-inch drywall, so it should be able to hold half this light. It also requires a 1/2-inch hole for the toggle to fit through. Once I have the holes marked, I drill the 1/2-inch hole for the toggle bolt. I set the 8-foot ladder underneath the electrical side because a wood screw is going in on that side. My plan is to set the toggle bolt first, rest the free side on the ladder, attach the electrical, and then secure the last side to the ceiling. I'm going to use a 1.5-inch number 8 cabinet screw for that. I'm using a cabinet screw because it has a decent sized pan head which will cover the mounting hole in the new light. Let's see how this works out. Always use new wire nuts when securing electrical wires together. I use wire nuts to attach the green ground wire, white neutral wire, and the black hot wire last. After the wires are connected, I push the light to the ceiling and push all the wires inside the fixture. I have already started to screw into the joist. I left it hanging out about 1 inch. This makes it very easy to manipulate the light to get the screw inside of the fixture. Since the new light is holding itself to the ceiling and all the wires are hooked up, now is a good time to function test the light. Let's see if it turns on. That sure is bright. The light works so I can add the end caps. I can only get the side screws in because there is no room above to screw in the third. I just use the 2 side screws to hold on the end caps. I can now tighten the anchors and secure the light against the ceiling. Last thing to do is install these hole plugs. Here is a comparison of the new light versus the old light. What a difference one light can make. So here's the finished product. This one light added a ton of light to this garage. So I turned the camera around and it's still throwing out a ton of light. Super happy with this light. $89. I don't think you could find a better light for that price and that installation process. If this video helped you out, if you'd like and subscribe, it would definitely help out the channel. My name is Matt. I'm just a dude, and if I can't fix it, I'll fix it so no one else can. Thanks for watching.